Let's get to a more creative task now. Let's go to the exercise files folder and open the files named Tim and Bruno. Bruno's image was available on Flickr under the Creative Commons license, so I have named the file with the creator's name. To open multiple files at the same time, you can click Command and select the multiple files. When we click Open, both files will be opened. What we want to do is create a composite portrait of these two men. Let's select the image of this man, Bruno, and bring it into the file of Tim's photo. When you're in the canvas window with Bruno's photo opened, use your keyboard and press Command A, which is the command to select all. You can find the same operation under Select on the main menu and All, and you can see the shortcut for this listed here, Command A. The same command applies to GIMP as well. Now that we have selected this image, and we can see we have selected it because of the marching ants around it, we can copy with Command C on the keyboard, and then go to our image of Tim and paste it with Command V. In GIMP, when you paste an image, it floats. That means it's still unusable until you create a new layer it will attach itself to. So make sure to paste and then create a new layer using the New Layer button on the bottom of the Layers window. If you ever paste an image in your Photoshop or GIMP document and you don't see it, check the order of your layers in the Layers window, as what you pasted may have gotten pasted below an existing layer, in which case it would be hidden by it. If that happens, you can simply click and drag to reorder your layers. While we're at it, let's name these layers so we don't confuse them. I will also double-click on this background layer to unlock it. This only needs to be done in Photoshop, as GIMP background layers don't get locked by default. What I want to do now is bring the two figures to have a similar size and align them one over the other so their facial features overlap. So I will temporarily lower the opacity of Bruno's layer so I can have a view of both my images at once. I will bring it down to about 65%. Now, to resize and rotate this top layer, I can use what is called Free Transform in Photoshop. The shortcut for this operation is Command T. From the main menu, you will find it under Edit, Free Transform. While you're in the Free Transform mode, you can't perform any other operations until you're done and you confirm your transformation. So this is similar to how cropping worked. You can still navigate your image while in this mode, but you can't use other tools. So once you have initiated your Free Transform with Command T, you will get a bounding box and handles around your layer. You can click anywhere inside the bounding box to move your layer around, and you can hover over the edges to resize in any direction. I do not recommend transforming your images by adjusting the width or the height separately though. In resizing, we want a proportional transformation so your image doesn't get skewed. So I will hit Escape on the keyboard to cancel the Free Transform operation. I will press Command T once again to get the Free Transform bounding box. If you hover over the corners of your layer, you have the opportunity to transform the image by adjusting both width and height at once, but this still doesn't lock the proportions. So I will press Command Z on the keyboard to undo this last step. To properly resize your image when doing a free transform, you need to hold Shift down on your keyboard and then grab the corner of your bounding box to size it up or down. Another thing to avoid is sizing your images up. If you paste an image into your Photoshop document and it is smaller than what you need, see if you can find a higher resolution image or reshoot so you don't have to enlarge it. Enlarging an image will only have GIMP or Photoshop make up pixel information which was not originally there, and your quality will only go down. In any case, what we want here is to make Bruno's image smaller, so let's get back to it. I will hold Shift down while I'm grabbing the corners of the bounding box and shrink the image down. In GIMP, instead of Free Transform, you have the Scale tool in the toolbox. So grab that and click on your canvas. A dialog window will pop up and you will want to make sure this chain is clicked so you can do a proportional transformation to your layer. Now, I know that I want the two men's faces to align, but Tim has his head tilted a bit to the left and Bruno has his head tilted a bit to the right. I can rotate an image with free transform by hovering my mouse outside the bounding box, which will convert my cursor to a curved arrow to indicate I can rotate. I can click and drag by a few degrees. I will move the image down by clicking inside it and dragging, and I will keep sizing it down a bit more. To rotate in GIMP, you will need to select the Rotate tool and click and drag. When you're done with your transformation, hitting return will commit your changes. To move your layer around in order to align the two images, you will need to pick up the Move tool and click and drag. Be aware that if your Move tool stops working, you should go to your tool options over here and make sure the Move option is set to Layer. If your bounding box corner escapes the canvas and you can't grab its handles, you can press Command- on the keyboard to zoom out, resize your canvas window so you can have a full view of your bounding box, and continue your transformation. You will want to zoom back in for higher precision in your adjustments. You can keep rotating and resizing until you're satisfied with the alignment. You can lower the opacity a bit more and keep adjusting the rotation and size to align the two faces. When you're happy with what you've done so far, you can hit return on the keyboard to commit your transformation. Now, if you commit and you decide that you need to enlarge Bruno's image because you made it too small, you have to be aware that you will start losing quality for that layer. The fact that Bruno's image was originally large doesn't help. Having transformed it, we have gotten rid of all the original information in this layer. Of course, you still have the original image of Bruno, so you can bring it back in, or you can simply go back in your history and start your transformation again. But you don't want to use free transform to size up from this point in our progress. There is a way to use free transform in a non-destructive way, and that is by converting your layer to a smart object. This will maintain its original data no matter what you do to it. But that's for our later tutorial. Let's get back to our work. Let's bring the opacity of this layer back to 100%. We can check out what blend modes can do for bringing the two layers together in an interesting way. But I will bring this back to normal. Let's zoom into the face and let's bring Tim's layer above Bruno's layer. Let's grab the eraser tool from the toolbox. The eraser also works like a brush, so you can adjust its size with left and right square bracket. Let's start erasing Tim's eyes. We can see Bruno's eyes coming through. I will continue using the eraser on the mouth area as well. And now I will zoom out. We now have created a silly composite. Play around with these tools and operations to get comfortable with them. Also, I would like to bring your attention to some more transformations available. In Photoshop, in addition to free transform, under Edit, Transform, you will find Skew, Distort, Perspective, Warp, as well as Flip horizontally and vertically. These flip options will only affect the layer you're currently on. This flip is different than the one listed under Image and Image Rotation, which will flip your whole canvas and its containing layers horizontally or vertically. In GIMP, in addition to the Scale tool and Rotate tool, you will find the Shear, Perspective, Flip, and Cage Transform tools.